Back with us on the SportsMax Zone, head coach of Trinidad and Tobago Soca Warriors, Fenwick, has denied reports that he headbutted the TTFA's Director of Communications and Media, Shaun Fuentes, moments before a press conference at the Editor-In-Chief Stadium in Couva on Wednesday. That was after a training session. Speaking with the Newsday in TNT, Fenwick said, "It is all rubbish and you will recognize all the areas it is coming from." The TTFA then issued a statement just hours after the alleged incident on Wednesday. It said, "The matter was blown out of proportion as head coach Fenwick only chose to express his disapproval of a certain member of the media fraternity being present at a scheduled media briefing on the eve of the team's departure for the Dominican Republic for the upcoming CONCACAF World Cup qualifier against Guyana." Apologies were exchanged and Fenwick and Fuentes have since agreed to put the incident behind them and continue the focus on the team's upcoming assignments in Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico. Joining us now is the Editor-In-Chief at Wired868.com, Lasana Liburd, the rumored certain member of the media fraternity whose presence at the stadium caused Fenwick to lose his rag. Lasana, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon to SportsMax Zone.
I was tempted to call you, Lasana. You recalled back in the, I think it may have been the 90s, when Prince had a dispute with his record label and he was the artist formerly known as Prince. So he was no longer Prince. You are no longer Lasana Liburd. You're the certain member of the media fraternity.
Yeah, remember. There you go.
but just before we even get to that, are you in the Dom Rep?
Sorry?
Are you in the Dom Rep with the team?
Am I? No, I'm in Arima right now, if you're asking my location. Yeah.
There you go, good. All right, let's get right to it. Okay. What happened on Wednesday, round about the time when the press conference was about to start?
Yes, now, interestingly, although I seem to have sparked what transpired, it took me a while to catch on to what was happening, right? I got there at about 8:55 a.m., walking in with CNC3 journalist, Jassy Merrick, another cameraman. And we could see in the distance that Fenwick was there with Fuentes and two journalists who were there already, right? Ian Prescott from the Trinidad Express being one of them. As we made our way there, I noticed that Fenwick walked away. I think I would probably say stumped off, if I could be so bold. Fuentes went with him, and as we got closer, we could see a pretty angry exchange with Fenwick, of course, being the aggressor. Eventually, Jassy, teased me and said that, figured out that, maybe I was the reason that Fenwick seemed to be in two minds about doing the interview. Eventually, they came over, they did the interview, and we thought that was that. And right after, of course, we heard from several eyewitnesses there that the incident that took place, which was, they alleged that Fenwick butted Fuentes, right on the field, not far from where the media reporters were.
Sequencing now, Lasana. So you did get your interview with Fenwick?
Well, the press briefing did happen. I, was there, was allowed to ask questions, which I did. I asked two questions about the issue in Puerto Rico and the fact that our players, some of them can't get to Puerto Rico to play the game. And Fenwick did respond. I had no problem with his response. He admitted that they only knew a matter of, days earlier that he couldn't take his entire team to Puerto Rico while the U.S. Travel restriction was in place since January 25th, which was one of the reasons why, I went there to try to get that cleared up.
Right. So that press conference would have happened after the alleged incident between himself and Fuentes?
It did, yes. The press briefing and Fuentes came over and conducted, did his responsibilities as press officer. And we had the press conference. Yeah.
In terms of your sources, Lasana, and you usually have excellent sources.
Yes.
How confident are you that reports of a headbutt, that the English head coach of the Soca Warriors headbutted a Trinidadian employee of the TTFA? How certain are you that that is actually what happened?
I'm very confident about my sources and the fact that it would, three independent persons all said the same thing. So I am confident about it. There is no video, I believe. So it does boil down to one person's word against the other. If I were to tell you whether any of those persons would say in court that Liburd happened, I wouldn't go that far. But I am confident and I stand by, what the sources said.
Lasana, two things. Are you surprised by Terry Fenwick's post-incident comments that that's rubbish and nothing of the sort happened?
No, I'm not surprised. People in that situation, and he has a lot to lose. I did a story today that kind of went into his contract, and an incident like that, he could be dismissed on the spot. And what he stands to lose, it's 800,000 US, right? Over 5 million. He could lose that immediately. Were the normalization committee to act on the allegations. So based on that, and I suppose based a little bit on Terry's record, while he's been in Trinidad in terms of his operations or so on, I'm not surprised that he denied it,
Yeah, and for the benefit of the millions of viewers of the SportsMax Zone, why would Terry Fenwick have a problem with Lasana Liburd being a part of a press conference that he's in?
Well, funny enough, Terry actually worked for Wired868, by the way. Just 2 years ago, he worked as an analyst for Wired868 in 2019. I've known him for some time. Of course, for me, knowing someone, even being friendly with someone, is never going to stop me from doing my duties, And I think the issues would have started right on SportsMax, actually, because SportsMax were the first people to get their hands on Terry Fenwick's contract, which, of course, was different to what everyone else thought he had, because it was not they were not the terms that the board had agreed to give to Terry Fenwick. And, SportsMax did the expose. I certainly followed up on it, and I kept pushing on it. And I suppose that was the last time I got on to Mr. Fenwick on the phone, right? Which I suppose is his right. Whether there is any personal angst, certainly not. I don't have anything against Terry Fenwick, but I will do my job as a journalist.
Yep. Lasana, I hope that the next time we talk, we'll be talking about the football on the field. All the best to you, and we'll still follow through on this story. All the best.
No problem. Thanks. Take care.
Good. Editor-in-Chief at Wired868 in Trinidad and Tobago, Terry Fenwick. Beg your pardon, Lasana Liburd. Did I say Terry Fenwick? Lasana Liburd. Terry Fenwick, obviously, at the top of the cranium. Back with more on the SportsMax Zone after these.